Now, how is food translocated? Food is manufactured in leaves, but every cell needs it. So, obviously, there has to be transportation of food. In the case of non-flowering plants, they do not have sieve tubes, they have only sieve cells. So, the transportation takes place through them. But as we have already discussed, in the flowering plants there are sieve tubes and they are responsible for transportation of food. Now, food is being manufactured in leaves and that part where food is in concentration is called source. Like you can say in the case of agriculture, food is grown in the fields, so that is the source. Here the leaves. And it has to move to the area where it will be utilized. For example, in the case of agricultural products, they move from the fields to the markets, first wholesale and then retail markets, and finally the end consumer who is going to use this food. Here also the food has to reach the area where it will be used, and that area is called sink, which could be a root, it could be stem, it could be fruit and so on. So, the direction is from source to sink. It is irrespective of upward or downward. It can take place in both directions. If we compare this with transportation of water, there it was only unidirectional from root upwards. But here, because leaves also have to send food to roots, which is downwards, and also to flowers and fruits, which is upwards. So, it is not unidirectional, it can be in both directions. Now, it is very simple, because at the source there is higher concentration of food, and in the source where continuously food is being consumed, it is in the lower concentration. So, food just diffuses. But the point arises, the food is in these mesophyll cells of the leaf. From there, what they have to reach the phloem. What about that journey? Now, the movement into the phloem is an active process, and this requires energy. And from where will that energy come? Food is there. So, leaf has food which will provide energy, and so food will move from mesophyll cells to phloem. This is an active process, and from phloem to a sink is a physical process. So, this is how the movement of the food takes place, right? Isn't it very simple? Just as movement into the phloem is an active process, movement of water into the xylem is also an active process. Now, what happened there? That when evaporation of water was taking place, there was concentration of solutes, because evaporation of water is taking place. As a result of this, there was osmotic pressure produced, and because of that water moved, right. So, whether it is entry into xylem or into phloem, it is an active process requiring energy.